The All Blacks are gearing up for a monumental showdown against the Wallabies this weekend in Wellington. And if you're a die-hard rugby fan like me, you know this game is going to be huge. After a roller coaster Rugby Championship, New Zealand has the chance to end the tournament on a high note by securing another victory over Australia. And all eyes are on this final clash. It's been a mixed bag for Scott Robertson's men so far, with some surprising losses and brilliant comebacks. But this weekend is the moment for redemption, dominance, and maybe even a few surprises. If you're a fan of the All Blacks, write "Go All Blacks" in the comments and subscribe to the channel. Now, let's rewind for a second and recap what's been a pretty eventful championship. It all kicked off with a shock defeat to Argentina in Wellington. Yeah, that one stung a bit. 38-30 was not the way we expected the campaign to begin. But true to form, the All Blacks came back strong in their next match, absolutely demolishing Los Pumas 42-10 in Auckland. It was a performance that reminded everyone what this team is capable of when they're firing on all cylinders. But, as is the nature of sports, consistency was elusive. The next two matches against South Africa, one in Johannesburg and the other in Cape Town, ended in tough losses. First, a 31-27 battle in Johannesburg that saw the Springboks come out on top, followed by an 18-12 rematch in Cape Town. Those matches were brutal, physical, and definitely a test of endurance for the All Blacks. But last week, the team showed resilience. In Sydney, facing their old rivals, the Wallabies, the All Blacks pulled off a nail-biting 31-28 victory. It wasn't easy, and there were some moments where we thought Australia might just snatch it. But Scott Robertson's team held their nerve and got the win. Now, heading into the rematch in Wellington, the momentum is back in New Zealand's favor, and this final Bledisloe Cup clash promises to be a thriller. So what can we expect from the lineup this weekend? Let's break it down. Starting at fullback, Will Jordan is likely to retain his spot after stepping in last weekend, when Beauden Barrett was ruled out due to illness. Jordan slotted in seamlessly and even bagged himself a well-deserved try early in the game. His versatility and calmness under pressure have made him a key player, and with Barrett now recovered, there's been a lot of talk about how Scott Robertson will structure the backline. Will Jordan keep his spot at fullback, or will Beauden Barrett return to his preferred position? Either way, Jordan's form has been exceptional, and we can expect him to play a crucial role. Let's talk about the wings, Sevu Reece and Caleb Clarke. Reece stepped up last week after a reshuffle saw Jordan move to fullback, and he did not disappoint. While he didn't manage to cross the try line, his energy and determination were key to keeping the Wallabies' defense on high alert. With 42 meters gained on attack and solid defensive work, Reece will be hungry to get his name on the scoreboard this weekend. As for Clarke, what can I say? The man is on fire. He's the tournament's top try scorer, with 4 tries to his name, and has scored in his last 3 matches. Clarke is an absolute weapon on the left wing, and if he can maintain that form, Australia's defense is going to have a hard time containing him. In the midfield, we've got Anton Lienert-Brown stepping in for the injured Jordie Barrett at inside center. Lienert-Brown's experience and adaptability make him the perfect replacement, and while he's been primarily used off the bench so far, this starting opportunity could see him shine. Paired with Rico Ione, who's been a mainstay since being recalled after the loss to Argentina, this duo could provide the All Blacks with the creativity and power needed to break down Australia's defense. Ione, in particular, has been dangerous. His speed and ability to find the try line make him a constant threat. Now, moving to the fly-half position, all eyes are on Beauden Barrett. Barrett's absence last week due to illness forced Scott Robertson's hand, but it looks like the coach might be ready to give Barrett the reins at number 10 this weekend. There's a lot of excitement around this potential switch, as Barrett's ability to control the game with his tactical kicking and vision is second to none. A 2-time World Rugby Player of the Year, Barrett is a game-changer, and if he's fit and firing, it could spell trouble for the Wallabies. Let's not forget about the forwards, though. Up front, we've got some serious powerhouses. Ardie Savea, for example, is in the form of his life. The reigning World Rugby Player of the Year was at his dynamic best last weekend, making 53 meters from 17 carries and showing why he's one of the most feared loose forwards in the game. Savea's ability to break tackles and keep the team moving forward is invaluable. and he'll be a key figure once again in Wellington. On the other hand, this match will be a special one for Sam Cane, who's set to play his 100th test for the All Blacks. It's a massive milestone for Cane, and no doubt the team will be looking to make it a memorable occasion. Cane's leadership, breakdown skills, and defensive work are essential to the All Blacks game plan, and he'll be fired up to put in a big performance. In the second row, we've got the Scott Barrett-Tupou-Vi partnership. Barrett, who has really come into his own as captain, provides the physicality and leadership, while Vi's athleticism and line-out prowess have made him a standout performer. This combo has been rock solid, and they'll need to bring their A game against a physical Australian pack. Speaking of physicality, Tyrell Lomax and Cody Taylor will once again anchor the All Blacks scrum. Lomax's scrummaging has been world-class, and Taylor's contributions around the park, both as a ball carrier and defender, have been crucial to New Zealand's success in recent matches. Taylor, in particular, has been on fire. He's a candidate for player of the tournament, and his form shows no sign of slowing down. Finally, at loose head prop, Ethan de Groot is back after a neck injury, and he'll be looking to continue his steady form in the scrums and open play. De Groot's return adds some much-needed depth to the front row, and his performance will be key in gaining dominance at the set piece. So, that's the breakdown. An exciting, dynamic team ready to take on Australia for the final match of the Rugby Championship and the Bledisloe Cup. With this lineup, the All Blacks have every chance to close the tournament on a high and build momentum heading into the Rugby World Cup. All Blacks head coach Scott Robertson has backed rookie back row Wallace Sititi to continue with his fine form in Saturday's Bledisloe Cup test against the Wallabies in Sydney. Sititi made his international debut as a replacement in the All Blacks' dominant 47-5 win over Fiji in San Diego this July, and also got minutes off the bench in the Rugby Championship game against Argentina last month, a narrow 38-30 loss in Wellington. The 22-year-old has been delivering rock-solid performances, earning him a spot in the starting lineup during the tough 18-12 loss to the Springboks in Cape Town a couple of weeks ago. Even though Sititi usually plays at number 8, he found himself at blindside flanker that day, filling in for Ethan Blackadder, who was out injured. Despite the shift, Sititi absolutely crushed it on the field and stood out as one of the All Blacks' top players in a pretty intense environment. Now, here's the exciting part. Coach Scott Robertson, who's been pretty open about his admiration for Sititi, dropped a hint that we might see a positional switch for the young star this weekend. If you're a fan of All Blacks, write "Go All Blacks" in the comments and subscribe to the channel. Robertson said, "He's got the ability to rise to the occasion. He's come through quickly and is so diligent. He's a good pro and we've been impressed with him. Artie's taken him under his wing, and it's great he can play all 3 loose forward positions. He's at 6, but that doesn't mean he'll finish there." What Robertson is hinting at is Sititi potentially moving to his preferred spot at the base of the scrum. He's had some massive games playing at number 8 for the Chiefs during this year's Super Rugby Pacific, so the idea of seeing him in his comfort zone this Saturday is pretty exciting. But if Sititi does move to 8, what happens with All Blacks vice-captain Artie Savia? Well, Savia, who's a fan of Sititi's playing style, might need to shift to another position himself. Savia spoke highly of his younger teammate, saying, "We might see him as a young fellow, but he's come into this team with so much calmness, even wisdom. It's inspiring. The way he walks, the way he plays. It's been great watching him in Super Rugby and now playing alongside him." The All Blacks head into this weekend's showdown with the Wallabies after a rough patch, having lost 3 out of 4 games in the Rugby Championship. Savia sees this game as a shot at redemption for the team. Sometimes you get knocked down, but it's how hard you get back up. What better way to show everyone that we can bounce back, get back on our feet, and take it to the Wallabies? So, what do you think? Will Sititi's positional switch pay off? And can the All Blacks turn their season around? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay updated with all things All Blacks.